Hola, buenos dias. Second video of the day. Let's first harvest vocabulary from the words that I've taught you. In that conversation, let's start with como. Speaker number one says to her, ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo? It's an adverb. It asks the question how. It means how, and you should write that down in your notes. Adverbs are words that will ask or answer one of these four questions: how, when, where, or why. This one asks it. How? ¿Cómo estás? And her answer was, estoy bien. I am well. Bien. Now that answers the question how. Bien. And you should write that down as an adverb, and it means well. She then says, gracias. Gracias. Well, that is an interjection. An interjection is a word that stands by itself. It is not knit up in the syntax of the sentence, in the way the sentence is put together. You can say it anywhere. Gracias. And I translate it as thanks. Literally, though, it means graces. Then she says, y usted, and you. Y is a conjunction. One of the most common words in any language, y, and it means and. The letter Y, our word and, is closer related to the German und. Just like our word thanks is closer related to the German word danke. Danke. And then she says, y usted, and you. Now I capitalize the you, usted, and I put an accent mark there. It means you. But as you're going to see, in many languages, there are many ways to say you. In Spanish, I never really knew how to count them. But there might be 12 ways to say you. This is you, but it's you formally. You, sir. You, sir. She's more formal. In this conversation, he's being very friendly. All right, that leaves us with the verb to be, estar. Estar. Notice the R at the end. I did this again and again with my students in public school. I said, notice that R, that's giving us the word to. Estar is to be. Now, I say to be temporarily. I'll explain more a bit about this later on, but this is a problem. That is a problem. But write it down now. It's something that can change. I'll tell you more about that later. Estar. So there's our first verb, to be. Well, it appeared three different ways. First, he asked her, ¿Cómo? How? Estás? How are? That is a form of the verb to be. How are? And the fact that it ends with an S like it does tells us that it's how are you? You don't have to say the word you in Spanish. That S at the end shows that it means are you, not are we or are they. It's are you. And in a friendly way. Are you, friend? This is what's called informal. And she answered, estoy, there's that same verb, estoy bien, am well. Well, she could have said, yo estoy bien, but you don't need to, and in Spanish you wouldn't. The oy at the end tells us that it's I, estoy. Estoy bien, gracias. ¿Y usted? ¿Cómo está? Well, when she puts the question back to him, she leaves the S off. She says, ¿Cómo está? She's being formal. She doesn't know this guy. He's stupid and ugly. He approached her. She's being formal. So that means how are, but it's how are you, but now it's sir. And you don't need usted there. You don't need it there because it's in the verb. I've begun what's called a conjugation of the verb estar. This is the first person. This is the second person. And eventually I'll show you the third person. I am, you are, he, she, or it is. And it's singular. I may show you the plural. We are, nosotros estamos. I probably won't have time. And this is the present tense. But anyway, that's why I put these lines here. First person, second person, third person. Well, you may have not followed that last part, but there is quite enough for another day.